Michelle, do you want to read the short or have somebody else?
Library trustee meeting minutes from January 14th, 2025. Meeting was called to order at 6:05 p.m. Present, Director Jen Crosby, Chair Paula Bolio, Nita Abbott, Bernadette Archambault, Jennifer Stogan, Janice Conti, Michelle Petras, and Candace Rivero. Absent, Helen Hurdo. Minutes of last month's trustee meeting were read. Motion made by Bernadette to accept minutes as read, seconded by Jennifer. The director's report. Building update. Holes have been filled in the parking lot. A thank you note was sent to James and Erica White of White Hollow Yard and Home with a $50 gift certificate for the Friends book sales or merchandise in appreciation for all their generous donations of time and equipment to our reading yard. Operations update. Youth Services Librarian is back. She will be out another 2 weeks, starting March 3rd through the 17th for shoulder surgery. She will use vacation time. Policy work. No policy work this month as the director is working on the library's portion of the annual town report, which is due to the town on February 28th. Hoopla. We have cut back hoopla from 8 titles per month to 6. The bill for December was $421. Friends recap. Holiday gift basket and not sale made over $1,500. Is that supposed to be minutes? And knit sale made over $1,500. $1,000 of this was from knit items. Current statistics update. Circulation for December was $4,355. $4,355. Total network transfers were 2,380, which is 459 items from other libraries and 1,920 from our library. The library saved the community approximately $47,000. With the holidays and the weather, these numbers are slightly lower than the last few months. Warrants, $1,466.91 for Baker and Taylor, Bonnet Speed, Commonwealth of Mass, and Library Journal. And $539.94 for Baker and Taylor or Midwest Tape. Motion made by Denise to accept and sign warrants, seconded by Candace. All in favor. Other campaign finance report must be signed by all trustees. Jen passed it around and was signed by all but Helen, who was not present. Paula states she will check with Helen when she returns to see if she's still willing to serve as interim vice chair in Paula's absence. Jen reported that the Tabletop Gaming Club is up and running, meets one Saturday a month, ages 8 and up, hoping for some high school age leaders. We'll promote this through Facebook and the high school. Volunteerism and leadership in this area counts towards scholarship and extracurricular activity. Still trying to get Lauren Brunel appointed as a trustee. Upcoming select board meetings are January 22nd and February 3rd. Paula will contact select board office to put us on the agenda. Meeting adjourned at 6:48 p.m. Next meeting, February 11th, at 6 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Michelle Petras, recording secretary.
I just saw a missed letter in under director's report. Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's up there with the nuns.
Anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and you looks like you have a lot
Yeah,
for us.
we'll try to get through it as fast as possible. My building update, our policy to only have the electronic vehicle charging station on during open library hours has actually worked out very well. We turn it on when we come in the morning and we turn it off at the end of the day. And it has definitely assisted in the issue we have of people parking overnight in the parking lot. Our operations update, our youth services librarian's leave is actually going to be changed to 3 weeks. She will be out through the 22nd of March. And a little hoopla update, after cutting down to the 6 checkouts per month, our bill became more manageable, at least for the time being. It was, I believe, $305 this month. So whether it's
So more than $100.
yeah, whether it's gonna utilize less this particular month, but we'll keep on it with the trends, charging me for that. Keep my eye on it, but we also have some grant funding, so we're okay. So getting right into it, I don't know if everyone received my emails, but I did send out a whole bunch of info today for you to look over prior to the meeting, but then I also made a get for everyone our annual town report, the library's portion of 2024 annual town report has been written. I want to say the major changes were just the different programming we had throughout the year. We put a spotlight on the Friends hosting the membership drive event and the local nonprofit volunteer fair. And then all of our circulation has been updated, our programming statistics updated. Just basically gives a recap of everything the library did throughout the year. I always put in there how much money we saved the townspeople over the year. Items circulated. Does anyone have questions or additions?
Read it earlier, it looks very well written. Do a good job of compiling all the information.
Not a whole lot different from past years.
I do have one, but what's a passive program?
Well, passive programming is like programming that people can come in and take part in without having to come at a specific time, like a book group that meets at 6 p.m. on this day. It's kind of people can come in and work on the puzzle or color of the page, or we have little kids crafts set up that they can just come and do whenever they want to. It's kind of more passive than interactive.
Does this need vote?
I think so because it is technically signed by the Board of Trustees.
Yeah, it's actually to vote on it. Well written.
Thank you. Me and Jan wrote it together.
Yeah.
She always does her portion and we compile it all together.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the Granby Free Public Library Annual Town Report 2024. Sorry.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Yeah, that was the easy one. And the next thing is our budget. So this year, the town has asked that we do a 3% cost of living adjustment for fiscal year 2026. And then a 3% total bottom line increase over fiscal year 25, which is pretty much been where we've been at for the past so many years. So I went ahead and did two. You'll see that the budgets there are front and back. And I also gave everyone a little bit of a budget explanation. It's actually on the back of your agenda. Just trying to save paper.
Nice.
So the budget explanation shows how we come up with the 3% cost of living adjustment, how we come up with those wages. It explains what the town's asking for. It is due January 21st. I did calculate our longevity to be 3,150 because one staff person's goes up this year for her 20th year, I believe. And then the grant and aid from the state, so that number at the bottom that's in brackets is actually, we include the grant and aid that we get from the state. We basically guesstimate it to be what we received, so exactly what we received this year is what we put on next year's budget. And then if we get more, doing better than we thought we were. So that is the 22,416. Our books budget must be 19% of the overall budget minus the longevity pay, which I figured in. And our overall goal for the 3% increase was to increase line items as needed, such as supplies, repairs, subscriptions, and our books. And at the bottom of that page, I have also included the circulation assistant position and how that gets the 3% cost of living adjustment as well. So where that wages comes from is all factored in there. The budgets that I handed out, the front one is the 3% cost of living adjustment with the 3% increase baseline. And then on the other side is the budget where I have added in that 25-hour position.
We could turn in both.
I'm gonna turn in both this year. Last year we only submitted the one with the 25-hour position, and when that got declined, I didn't get to submit the one that I wanted. So I want to make sure this year that everything, all the needs that we have that need to be met are gonna be met. Because for 1 year, it won't screw us up too badly. We were within the 19% book budget, but we don't want to cut ourselves short at all by having someone else factor our budget for us. So, to be on the safe side, I would like to submit both. And I did also include the letters. We always submit a letter to the town administrator explaining what we're asking for and thanking them. And then on the other side is the letter to the chair of the finance committee explaining why we are requesting this additional position. I have updated the statistics. I basically took it from what we gave last year. I updated the statistics, reworded it a little bit so it wasn't quite as wordy. But I was hoping to submit both of those letters with both of our budgets and then request to be invited to the finance committee when they do talk about this so that I have a chance to make a statement in front of one. You know, give it another go.
Do you normally get to speak to them?
You know, I haven't in past years, and you know, I talked with John Ladera last year after our budget got turned down, and you know, he was kind enough to take the time out to chat with me about what they were thinking and why, and he did, you know, explain to me, you know, what the town's needs were and how it didn't really work out with the town's needs for that particular year, and you know, it was nice for him to kind of hear me out on, you know, my explanations. It's just nice to be able to defend our spot here and why, coming from me rather than coming from someone who is the library director, or really affiliated with the library as much. So I'm hoping this year to kind of put it out there that I would like to be included when they do discuss our budget. See, you know,
In this letter here, do you think you put an example? There wasn't at their library where someone was sort of like, I don't know if it was in Massachusetts, but at least in New York State, I know someone was that at the library.
Yeah.
They weren't alone, but still, you don't even have security here, so maybe if you put an example like that, they'll be a little bit more nervous about just being like, oh, it's fine, she's, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, because that is safety is a big
Yeah.
concern.
And it's sort of just said, but it doesn't really, I don't think they'll be able to visualize it just like that. I don't know, I know it's extra work for you to put that in.
But I could add it because there have been multiple, even in Massachusetts, there have been issues of librarians being, you know, confronted, and it's just,
Yeah, because,
I don't know anymore.
You just, you don't know where other people are. No, you don't.
and you're right on to here.
We go right in the main hub.
Yeah,
Anybody could just pull it.
yeah, yeah,
We've had some strange,
We've had.
yes,
especially recently.
And it's, you know, especially with such a big building, even if there are two of us here, sometimes one's all the way over there and one's all the way over here. We do have our panic buttons, but
you do.
yeah, we do have panic buttons, but it's, you know, always nice to
That's
have
right
at least
there.
one other person that,
Definitely.
you know, you can walk out the door with at the end of the night. You're not alone, locking the building. You know, it's just basics,
Yeah.
safety and security that I think is really important, especially in a bigger building.
Yes.
To continue to advocate for that, I think is super important.
And also for programming, because you're gonna be doing more and more of that as time goes on. As
Yeah.
opposed to, you know, like as.
Right,
Exactly,
exactly.
you
So
need that too then, we have to.
getting another person would help increase our programming. We could even possibly stay open another later night during the
Yeah.
week because we.
And you need someone there while someone's doing the program and no one around anywhere else.
Absolutely, yeah. Like if somebody's on vacation and then someone gets sick, what if, I can't tell them they can't be sick?
Which has happened in
Yeah,
the
that's
past
happened.
where somebody was on vacation and somebody ended up getting sick.
I can't like call them to come home from their vacation, you know, so it's.
And another thing, didn't we talk about the library being because people would go, like in the summer when it's really hot? I know it's not, oh, fun, but still.
Yeah, it was like a cooling center. I mean, we're not technically designated as a cooling center, but we are, you know, that's kind of.
But is there another place in your town? There isn't any other place. So,
No, the only other shelter kind of thing is the high school, but that's not a cleaning center.
really, yeah, then I've had people walking there and doing, oh, yeah.
And so then you do hear many people coming to the library in summertime because whether or not they have AC at home or just
I mean, in other communities around us,
Yeah.
their libraries are designated.
yes, yeah.
But I could definitely add a few examples to the letter. I think that's a good idea.
With, Janice having been out on 2 disabilities, I don't think that's a really prime example to indicate how short-staffed you are.
And I mean, we have volunteers, but you can't always count on
Yeah.
that. I mean, we've had a couple of instances where I'm like, oh, it's okay, you can leave for the day if you're sick or whatever, because I have so-and-so coming in, and then so-and-so doesn't come in. And we're like, oh, okay, just kidding. So then what if it's, you know, like, it's been really tricky, and it's not all the time, but there have been, you know, some really tough spots that we've been put in, and we do have that policy, our coverage policy, that states that if there's only one person, we have to close and do pickup only. But that has, you know, really been an issue for the
If
community.
you have a program, you don't want to cancel that.
Right, like we want to go and close everything down, and then it doesn't look great to the community, and, you know, it kind of needs the reason why we're here, so.
That's clear to me,
One-
you're understaffed.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, and I mean, 25 hours a week, it's not asking for a whole lot, I don't think. So, I'm gonna try again. And then we'll see what we can do about getting into some meetings and talking to whoever we need to talk to.
Do they typically meet in the evening?
They said, the finance committee.
Oh, it's,
Be beneficial.
It's no one of any of us would attend with you.
Thank you, I will, I'm gonna make those in.
when not that they going from the school library, but public library, I feel it's more. Maybe they could, they're really that worried about money, they could do something there.
Yeah.
Everyone uses the library here.
That's it, we're the only building in town that serves the entire
Yeah.
community, like birth through.
Right.
Senior, so, we're open all the time. I think we're open quite a bit. I mean, it would be nice to be open one more late night a week, because that's probably the biggest.
So you can have more programs.
Yeah, I know, having just a Thursday night makes it tough to plan things.
Yeah.
And our Thursdays are coveted. Fight over. So we can't have two programs happening at once with such a limited staff. So
Oh, right.
it's kind of a problem, but.
If you were opening another evening, that would provide more living space for the community.
You know, people who work late can come in after they've done work, which is one of the biggest complaints that I've heard. About the later nights, so that would be really nice to be able to offer that to the community, and I do have that in a little sentence about that in my letter. Adding more staff can also lead to additional hours open to the public. So I think it's worth a shot to try again. And see what we can do.
I was saying here, because you're gonna be writing this to the town administrator, right? And I feel like if you put something that makes them afraid, like anything legal might happen, if you don't have, that's more likely to get done than if you just like, oh, what are we using, which is great too, but
Safety and liability.
yeah. Too bad you have to.
Well, sad. Is. I don't know, everybody else like goes home and.
Oh, did you ask about like how did they know yesterday that, I'm like dying to know.
And are you gonna turn this in the budget explanation? Or is that for the summer?
This, you know what, I usually do this just for us.
Okay.
I believe I could submit the explanation and just take out the middle section. Or,
We'll just say, same Friday, February 1st.
yeah, just take that part out. And I think I have in the past included on this page. I don't know if they really need all that information, but better to have more information than not enough. To kind of explain where I got my numbers and my reasoning. I'm gonna just do my budgets. Does anyone have any questions about budgets themselves? You'll see there is a little bit of a difference in the line items between the two because adding in a $22,000 position does increase what is expected from our book budget. So it does make that go up slightly, a few $1,000, which I was then able to cut a little bit out of the supply budget. You know, it's not super ideal.
Are you saying you're gonna increase the book budget if you have another person?
So basically what happens is our book budget has to be 19% of our total budget, no matter what that total budget is. So if you
Is it like
increase,
the state something?
yeah, so in order to get that $22,000 from the state, we have to hit like a few milestones that they require us to hit. And that's one of them. So
Is that gonna change? I feel like that's gonna change in some way.
you know, it's been like that since I started in
Right, that's what I
2007.
mean.
So, they have become more lenient with certain requirements, but the 19% book budget, you can do less, but then you get less back. So I think that you could hit 17 and still, you know, make your certification, but then it's not quite as good, the money that you get back from the state. But yeah, so that overall number, if we do increase our budget by 22,000, we do also have to increase that. But I was able to take a little bit out of the supply budget to make it work so that we're not completely asking for the moon. So with the 3%, without the added position, we're able to bulk up a few of our line items to increase our subscriptions a little bit, increase our supplies. And then in the other one, I just kept those numbers pretty much the same and cut a little bit from the supply budget to make it work. But trying not to ask for too much, but also be, you know, doing.
Was it the budget? Could you use that for like prizes for the kids? You can't really. You could use that as like.
Not, but it can be, it can be used on like technology in the building that's used by patrons. So if it's something that patrons can come in and use in the building and like walk around, or like take with them and use or sit down at a computer, we can use that money for those things.
Oh, you
as
can.
well. So, like hotspots, if we had,
Oh, let's do it.
like anything that we were lend out to people could be considered.
So games that we were talking about before.
Yeah, the games, if we wanted to do that, puzzles, if we were to, get really techy and do like e-readers and things like that. That money can be used for those things as well. So anything that's used by the public in the building or out of the building. So, it would be nice if we could have our thoughts heard this year. Consider it. I'll try my best.
We'll be behind you.
How many years it makes in a row?
This is
The third, isn't it?
Yes, this is our third year asking. The first year we asked for 2 part-time positions, 2 15 hours. Changed it to 1 25-hour. Staying firm on that. I think 1 25-hour position is too much.
Janice, do you know any other departments that have gotten another personnel? So we can start from there.
Some of that I'm sure about recently, but I know that there have been a few assistants added to like the town hall positions. I'm not 100% sure when they were added and what the details are.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone else have any questions?
I was gonna say in the letter again, like maybe more about, that, like the needs of the library, how it's changing and everything. You can remember, and we can just understand more.
Yeah, I'll definitely go in and bulk it up a little bit. I'll add safety examples, liability example.
To both the finance committee and the town administration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to both. And then I'll need your signature on. So as soon as I get those done, I can.
Just get them in this side.
Yeah, do that. I got a little bit of time, but I definitely wanted to get this all hashed out and make sense for our meeting.
So this is something that we have to hold on? Yes.
Vote to approve our submission for library's budget.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the budget and the letters that we discussed for fiscal year 2026.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. I will get all of that tidied up. Let's go. Where am I at? Okay, and then our current statistics update, our circulation for January was 5,020 items. Total network transfers were 3,675. 700 were from other libraries and 2,975 were from our library. So these numbers went up quite a bit from last month. And we saved the community approximately $68,000. And then we have our warrants. 2 warrants for signature. One is for $1,579.07 for GoNet Speed, Baker and Taylor, and Piper Mountain Webs. And then one for $2,278.39 for Baker and Taylor and Vistas and Interactive Sciences.
Somebody make a
There's an interactive science
Yeah, I.
after we moved stuff.
Yes. Forgot to throw that one on my list here.
on the list board.
On. I do notes.
Oh,
ahead
yeah,
of
yeah,
time, so
okay.
Michelle forgot
Yeah.
to write it. Yep. I forgot to write it on there. I think someone came into my office when I was typing that.
Can somebody make a motion to set warrants?
You also did.
All in favor?
And that concludes my portion of our meeting. I'm sorry to give everyone so much paper.
So. Did you get informed about what happened at the select board meeting
I heard a little bit,
yesterday?
unfortunately.
So we don't have Lauren on as a library trustee. Because I guess they said that the three needed to be presented. And we
We would jointly interview them. That was just.
jointly interviewed.
There would be.
Yes.
So
And
that has never been the way we've done it in 32 years. She, Crosby's been around, so, I had asked why didn't you let us know this? Yes. And she seemed to think, seemed to think that, we had been informed that we needed to present 3 candidates. Maybe,
I'm just confused because two of the candidates submitted their paperwork after the
Right.
deadline, so
Right.
not.
And we did explain that to them last night.
And then the
To say, there was a phone conversation that I had with Kathy, who she had said that. Kathy Leonard, and she had said that it didn't matter that they didn't meet the deadline. But when we had met for our library trustee meeting, we had said that the deadline's a deadline, you know? So
issue with the letter.
that's why.
That they weren't signed or something? Do we know?
No, they weren't dated.
They weren't dated.
That's right,
Yeah.
Dave. Crystal said the letters that she had. were
How
not
did she get the letters? That's what, where did she get them from? Does anyone know?
Probably from, the town administrator's office, we submitted them,
Oh, okay.
they were submitted to us and to them.
So like,
They were dated.
then like, I didn't know if the ones that didn't make the deadline should have been submitted. But there was no dates. All we have is the dates of the emails.
Okay.
And then
So they,
when she questioned, our attorney was in Brand too. When she questioned, Crystal said, well, what do you think we should do? So that he would have to see, right?
Yeah.
He'd have to see all those letters and research them and the dates and then.
You say, because I believe one of them was handed to me here in the building.
none of them had a date.
So anyway, we talked a little bit afterwards and we thought maybe the easiest thing to do, since it is so close now to the election, for goodness sake, is just to let it go until the election.
And have.
And whoever, runs.
Would it make sense to contact all three candidates to tell
Sure.
them they could take papers?
Sure, absolutely.
And-
I can, because I'm not gonna run again. So my position will be open and then the 1-year position will be open. So there'll be two, so. Yeah. And you've got 3 great candidates out there. so-
Yeah. I think we should encourage them to, take out papers.
But we don't have to fill it. You checked with Kathy, right? Or you checked with Kathy?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
We don't have to fill it.
Right,
Yeah,
right. She suggested that as well, just.
right.
So
Just
this
delete.
is okay with powers that be?
Yes, they said it was.
Yes, I
it's
just
all right
have
as
to-
long as that was a legal thing. That,
Okay.
yes. I mean, it's been open since what, August?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So, you,
Okay.
I told Kathy Leonard that I would send her an email after our meeting tonight to let her know that what we decided to do. Because when we were discussing it after the select board meeting, we found that a lot of people have personal stuff going on and people are gonna be around at the end of the month. It's for the next
That
select
many
board
people
meeting.
together, to get all three candidates to be there at the same
Yeah.
time.
I know it would be, and we need like 8 people, the 3 candidates and then 5 of us.
And not that they're even interested anymore. We don't even.
I know, we don't even know that, you're right.
Sure.
If the others are even interested, so.
Remind the awkwardness of being interviewed and being told in front of other people.
But you didn't.
You didn't come.
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
I don't think
I know, I did.
Okay, so you're going to email Kathy and tell her our intention.
It's another person.
But I
Yeah,
did
we
get to
were
be
gonna-
Lauren, so that's. She was there.
Go, I finally got 5 trustees in a room with Lauren, so
That was very incompetent.
I don't know how she feels now.
I can't believe it. It didn't happen after all that. But
You know, especially because they were like, we want to see the other candidates. I mean, like you were saying, she probably felt a little bit strange. Like, why not me? So I did.
that's, well, sorry, moving on, I suppose. Okay, so as long as this is okay with the town
Yep.
administration,
Because they asked how many do you usually get, you know, how do you have? And they said, when we said 9, it was like, 8's fine. And then that's what they said.
we could leave the position open indefinitely, but
No, but,
months.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
already been longer than it's going to be,
Yeah,
only 4 weeks,
True.
so.
so what does this
3 months.
make the difference at this point?
Yeah,
Do you still
I
have the contact information of the 3 interested candidates?
I believe I do. But if I don't, oh, I have I definitely have it for 2 of them. And if I don't, if I can't seem to find for the third one, I'll contact you.
Okay, maybe you're okay with reaching out to them
Yep.
to encourage them to
Yes,
run. Okay. Awesome.
Kathy Kelly and Reagan will have to adjust, her listings in the paper regarding openings. And she'll have to note that there's 3 trustee openings and one
year term.
One,
uh,
3, yeah,
openings
3 for year.
And one
year.
year.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll let both companies know.
Yes.
You're amazing. This is a lot of work on your part.
Yeah, I know we talked about reducing the number of trustees. We're not doing it. I think we talked about that on the meeting yet.
Talked about it and it was actually a lot more involved than we
Oh.
realized. Our board has to be divisible by 3. And so we would have to go from 9 down to 6. And in order to do that, it would actually have to go to a town meeting. And we would have to request that the town change
Yeah,
that.
it's a little too much with everything.
Which we could do it if we really wanted to. But it did sound like it was going to be quite the endeavor.
And then to explain why and everything, this is not.
Well, I'm just reading that library's trending, by increasing the number of trustees.
Oh, okay, so.
And we are, if we have 3 people interested in joining, then
That's
we'll be
true.
okay for now.
Yeah.
Just it got weird for a while where we were worried about
Right.
the involvement and then all of a sudden people came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they had like these huge resume and I'm like, whoa, no, what are these
It's
people?
impressive. But yeah, I think that sounds like the way to go at this point after everything the board's been for trying to get this to happen.
It's just such a short time, really. I feel bad for Lauren.
I agree. It's been nice for her to be able to attend meetings and kind of get a sense of responsibility of what we do and we accomplish. And it's unfortunate for her that's just not having this opportunity.
Yeah.
Technically, it would be a public meeting, so can't the other
Yes.
candidates comment?
Yeah, in fact, one did, right? Was that Rosemary?
Yeah.
Came that time, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and anyone's welcome to come and sit in. Maybe we could also extend that invitation to them as well if they want to come and bring their papers.
Right, you can bring their papers and their signatures.
Because the papers are due, is the end of March,
Into March, I think.
so they would have time,
29th.
they would have time to come and.
Jen, can we go back to like, if we feel like just bringing in snacks? Remember, did we do that for a while? Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, just to entice them to want to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what the friends need to
What it seemed like, oh, I haven't was on today.
Was it really something like that? I didn't have to go, but it was like a supper or something.
Yeah, we had a cookbook club for a while.
Yeah.
Before COVID happened, where people would each pick one recipe out of one particular cookbook and they'd all bring it in to
Yeah, it's like
sample.
potluck.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't do it because I can't deal with that kind of stress in my life, but I could read an entire book over a month, come up with discussion questions, but I can't make one recipe. I can't. It's too much pressure. But
Something for one of those.
We should, and explain, it was,
But
yeah.
there was a many people that were here.
Yeah,
it was
When
kind of
maybe she's just not.
a small little group, but it was fun. Get people to carry it on and continue coming.
Yeah, one more program, that'd be great.
Well, I think that's a good. I think that's a good avenue to go down.
But we can make it like, well,
Just contact everyone and let them know
if
if
someone doesn't have time, they can speak.
now's the time if you want to jump on. If anyone else wants to take papers too.
So we have, who's, taking up papers this year?
Have
Michelle.
And-
Right. Just scan this.
Standard and Ellen.
You're not doing Michelle, why
No.
are you moving?
No, I mean, just.
She wants to live her life.
Yeah. Almost 10 years, so, yeah.
You want to join the planning board?
Well, no.
Get appointed. Okay. I know Candace is well right now, so I won't bother her. Waiting it.
I know she mentioned she had trouble getting there and picking the papers up, with her work schedule.
Okay. Maybe I'll chat and see if she needs.
I don't know, can somebody else pick them up? I guess they can, yes.
So I was thinking maybe if they allow me to do it, I can have them here for her. After hours and she pops in here. This one's for the things.
Don't you have to sign something with her stick up papers?
Oh,
Yeah, you have to sign things.
so I guess I can't.
Yeah.
It's illegal. Scratch that. I did not say that.
And the third person is in to.
Well, then, and then we'll have it empty.
Oh, okay, you're the third one. Okay.
Empty one. It will be fine.
Yeah, I'll contact them. Tomorrow.
Thank you everyone for coming out to that meeting. Making an effort.
Yes, thank you.
The Charter Days is going on this year, right? I just figured you might know.
What?
Charter Days, like remember how last year we didn't have it?
Yeah, I've seen things on Facebook for
Oh,
meetings,
Oh,
for the charter station. I don't know.
It's gonna be.
Are they still looking for people to help? Or is this
Probably.
It's whatever they said, only.
Oh, great. So she would tend.
It's almost the second week.
Yeah, so I was.
So I just wanted to bring up with, that we'll be having a new candidate at least, and, somebody filling Michelle's spot. That we're going to be needing a secretary and a chair. Library trustees. Just to give a heads up, because I know that's coming up in the next couple of months. Start filling one of those
Start
spots,
thinking about it.
but we will miss you, Michelle.
Yes, we will.
So to give it some thought, and maybe we could talk about it at next month's meeting to see if there's somebody who wants to take over on the secretary role. And that would be something where we would have to go and nominate, and create a nominating committee.
Yes.
To nominate them. And vote yes. Yeah, so it's about 3 months away.
So the election, I think is, I'm gonna say May 19th, maybe. And
Oh, I was.
so our meeting will be before the election, so I will be given May. And the new people will start in June.
Yeah. Okay. Did anybody have anything else that they wanted to bring up?
Quick question, the Friends, the game event on Saturdays, very successful.
I saw it advertised, I saw it, the Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, I wanna say 6 people this past Saturday, so it was a good little turnout.
Over the game?
Yeah, for the games they played Ticket to Ride.
Anything else? Or just-
We have 2 adults that run it, and then we had 2 adults who brought 2 children that came in. So seemed to have a really good time. It's fun. And hopefully we'll get a little more interest as time goes on.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun thing. Xander, our Friends president, is spearheading that. It's having a good time. I'm glad they're. It's nice to see more people coming in. Taking up space in the library on Saturday.
Yeah, he comes across as enthusiastic on the Facebook posts, you know.
Yeah.
So how's it just, is it an adjustment for kids or something? Or is
We had a chess. It was like a series of them, and then it's over now. But
that didn't go?
it went pretty well. Yeah, we had somebody that was like teaching, and then they would have games going. And I think he was here for like 3 or 4 sessions.
But it's not a continuing thing.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, not a continuing thing. We're looking to kind of revamp and refresh some of the gaming groups because our Magic the Gathering group fizzled and our Dungeons and Dragons group fizzled.
Huh.
Can you get the time?
I think the hardest part is getting someone to run them,
Okay.
especially for Dungeons and Dragons. You have to have someone be the dungeon master, and it's like very involved. And
Who was it before?
we had oh gosh, Hannah Jones Trudeau's husband had come in and he was running it for a while. Matt, sorry, poor Matt, I just forgot his name. He was running it for a bit for us as a volunteer thing, and then when he stepped down, one of the kids from the group had taken over. He was running it, and the group kind of fizzled, and so I don't know. And we have to find someone else who'd be interested in coming in and running it and taking on.
Would that be a Thursday evening? Yeah.
They would do it in the afternoons after school. It was like a 3 o'clock type of deal.
Maybe that's a hard one for a lot of kids.
Oh, what's nice is that we do have the bus drop here. So
Right.
they can get dropped off from the high school.
If you could find a high school kid who could do this.
That's what
you
we're
know?
kind of hoping
Yeah.
with, now that we've put the volunteers, like, stuck out for the high school.
Because actually they didn't get that as voluntary, so you would have to do that.
Accounts for their hours, come to play, to
Yep, yep.
get the hours. So that's something, that Janice.
Maybe the letting them know it's an opportunity. That's what I think.
We've got a few teams that have been interested in coming in, so that I think since we put that out there. So,
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So let's see if we can find the right person
Yeah,
that's into
Yeah.
it. It's very specific stuff.
And because it used to be that it was more
Teenagers.
that were volunteering in the past, that
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there was as many in the past few years.
Yeah,
But,
definitely like after,
Or,
yeah, after the pandemic, really. I think the kids are just so busy now. They don't have the amount of time they used to dedicate to volunteering, but got a few new ones on board.
that's great.
I think that should be.
Well, anybody else? Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make you look to adjourn the meeting.
6:56 PM. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, ladies.
Good job on the report here.